Hi, we're back, and now it's time for dessert. Remember that trick that Kathy showed you for how to slice apples? Well, we use that technique to cut 6 cups of apples to make our caramelized apple upside down cake. I have the apples cooking here with some butter. You want to just cook them until they're tender, and you can see they're starting to caramelize and get lightly browned. Now it's time to add a little bit of brown sugar. I'll also add some lemon juice. And I'll cook this until the brown sugar melts and the apples are really nicely coated. Once that sugar melts, I can stir in some pecan halves. And I'm just going to spread the apples into a glass pie plate. This is a deep dish pie plate. You want to make sure they're in a nice even layer. Now we're ready to make the cake batter. I have the dry ingredients here. This is some flour, baking powder, and salt. Now I'm adding some apple pie spice. Has a wonderful fragrance of all the sweet spices. And if you don't have that on your pantry shelf, we give you a recipe in the magazine for how you can make your own combination. I have eggs and sugar, brown sugar and white in the mixer. I'm going to just mix that until it's nice and creamy. Then I'll gradually add the butter. Once that's well blended, I'll add some Greek yogurt and some vanilla extract. Now I can add the dry ingredients, and you want to mix those just until the ingredients are moistened. This is a really thick batter. I'm just going to spread that right over the top of the apples, and then it can go into the oven to bake for about 35 minutes. Once your cake test's done, then you want to let it sit and cool for about 20 minutes. Then you can take a sharp knife and just run it around the edge to loosen it from the pan. You'll want to choose a serving plate that's nice and flat. Just put this on top. Just turn that upside down. Give it a little shake.
Beautiful.
Doesn't it look gorgeous? Now, if a few apples stick to the pan, don't worry at all about that. You just take a fork and we'll replace those. You know, this cake does not need any frosting on it. It has the caramelized apples, the pecans. It's wonderful. If you want a little bit of vanilla ice cream, that's good. And even better, we give you a recipe for a spiced whipped cream in the magazine.
Delicious. Now, this is going to be terrific for fall. In our next recipe, I'm using one of my other favorite fall flavors, and that's pumpkin for our homemade pumpkin donuts. I already have the dry ingredients mixed together, some flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. I also added some pumpkin pie spice. Similar to apple pie spice, rich with cinnamon and nutmeg, but slightly different. So you want to be sure to look for that in the spice section or look for a substitute guide in the magazine. I've got that well mixed, and I'll get my liquid ingredients together. I started with some pumpkin puree, and I'll add some milk. I've also got some melted butter, and I just let this cool slightly. A little bit of vanilla. And 1 egg. Okay. I'll just whisk that together until it's well combined. Now, once the pumpkin mixture is combined, you'll just make a little well in the center of the dry ingredients and add all of the pumpkin mixture. And it's ready to just stir together until all of the flour is combined. All right, that looks well combined. As you can see, it's a really soft dough, so you'll want to chill this completely, either for several hours or even better, overnight in the refrigerator. Once the dough was chilled really well, I pressed it out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. I'm just using a donut cutter to cut my shapes. Now you can find a donut cutter like this in the gadget aisle at Dierbergs. If you don't have one, just improvise with a water glass and a smaller glass or even a shot glass. Let's cut these out. Now you can re-roll the scraps. I'm going to go ahead and cook up the donut holes alongside. Dust off any excess flour, and then these are ready to fry. Got my oil at 375, and these will cook for about 2.5 to 3 minutes or until they're golden brown. Okay, the last of the donuts are done. I'm just taking out the last of the donut holes. Like I said, you'll just keep them on the paper towels to cool slightly, and then you're ready to finish them off.
And to finish them off, we have a wonderful glaze. This is a combination of milk, vanilla, and a little bit of powdered sugar. And you just dip the donuts in, twist them around, flip them over, and they are ready to enjoy.
You're ready to go professional. Those are beautiful.
Well, thanks. Pretty easy to do. They're fun.
Now, if you want to get the kids involved, just fill a brown paper bag like this with some cinnamon sugar and add the donut holes, and then you're ready to give them a quick shake. All right. Oh, beautiful. Guaranteed to put big smiles on your little faces.
Sure.
There we go. Now in the magazine, we also have a couple of other variations for donuts, so be sure to check those out.
In fact, all the recipes that we've shown you tonight and a lot more are in the September issue of the Everybody Cooks magazine, so be sure to pick up your free copy. Now, this is actually the last time that we'll be coming to you from our Bogey Hills School of Cooking. We want to let you know that next time we'll be at our beautiful new Culinary Event Center. It's at the Dierbergs store. It's very centrally located. It's on Manchester Road. It's just a mile east of 270. Come upstairs to the mez and take a peek around. We want you to meet our chef, Mary Ann. Dierbergs Culinary Event Center is the one-of-a-kind culinary gathering place in St. Louis. This is where the art of cooking goes state-of-the-art. You can enjoy our traditional cooking classes, but there's even more. We'll help you plan and host the perfect celebration, bridal or baby shower, wine or spirit tasting, corporate meeting, whatever event you're hosting. We want you to think of us as a very unique destination for your next gathering. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. We really hope that we're going to see you at our new DePere store. Good night.
Good night.
You'll find all the recipes featured on tonight's show and many more in Dierbergs' Everybody Cooks magazine. Just stop by any Dierbergs for your free copy while supplies last.